for like 30 seconds, and then I'll kind of analyze it once we get it back. But it looks like it might be picking up the tire depth versus the side view mirror depth and trying to make a person out of it. 5 on his device is because the little blinky light guy that I showed you guys earlier, the first indication of the system. So do we have something going on over there, Ben? So the reason why I say that is because if you see something and then you start recording, it's already gone. So just kind of keep it on. Even if you're going to like help her out by watching that, you can just grab this top handle and hold it like a suitcase and you'll get the same type of footage.
I did have another question. Like, is there a specific height or just like this? Because I don't know. I would
normally say try to keep it at belly level.
Okay.
So that way, A, you don't look like a YouTuber out here,
right?
Kind of thing. Because again, people get weirded out with cameras in their vehicles.
Yeah, right.
But the other piece is, if you're this level, your elbows lock when you go like this, so you get a much cleaner shot. Even that makes sense. So again, if you're going to move around, still hold it at belly level, but you might be able to take it higher. And that way, that's why most people only use one. So in case somebody else wants to listen, you can actually work on it together. Like I just told Caleb, being a videographer isn't the most exciting job when we're doing an investigation. So I always make sure there's always a spear box nearby.
Yeah.
Same grooves, so that way they can actually work out. So that way
I really should be staying still and just like rotating kind of.
Nice and slow.
I heard President Heavy.
Heavy President?
President Heavy. But it was in that order, President Heavy.
I got it.
What?
The ghosts don't like me.
Apparently they like your mom.
I know, she's gonna be all obsessed.
Consolidate all of those videos into one video so you have one from each camera, and I don't fix them because that takes a lot of time to be able to do that. So good job.
Thanks.
We're all gonna be looking at it like this now over the years. And those videos go to YouTube, just so you guys know. So Caleb, by all means, get that thing up and running. Let's get some footage while we're in here. So welcome to Philadelphia Alley. How's our words coming? Do you have anything along the way?
Samantha, excited, yourself, violence again, and Scott.
Violence distracts us, right? So that's really big. Because this used to be called Duelers Alley. This is where some of the duels used to occur in the city of Charleston. I say some, simply because dueling was illegal. They actually had to find kind of hiding spots in order to make that event happen. We all tell the story of the same duel, but we're not doing campfire marshmallow stories like all the other ghost tours. But you guys, most of you have never taken a ghost tour, so you don't know how that actually works. I'm going to be giving you a little bit more detail just because of what you're actually doing. Remember, we're not going to spread out in here. We're going to start things up in here and go on to our next place. So, Philadelphia Alley. By the way, whenever somebody's going to come through here on their tours, they're going to come out of that wall, so then you'll immediately turn around if somebody's coming through. And if they have to go out the alley, we just kind of split the seas. I will stop talking and let them pass over. That's kind of how that works. But anyway, that's how the story goes with this specific duel. There was this doctor that moved down here from Rhode Island. RI is what you're looking for in here, Faith, specifically for that Rhode Island. And it'll make even more sense when I go a little bit further. Now, he's moving down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She's an attorney, helping her out with all of his cash flow. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd, by the way, the doctor's full name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. Those of you listening to Spirit Boxes right now, if you hear the song Brown Eyed Girl, it's not coincidence. It's part of his name. You get it here all the time. But at any rate, he thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. He tells Amanda to get rid of this doctor. He comes to Charleston to prove that he's not. On his way into town, the coachman set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a very good start to take his stay here in Charleston. So somebody was walking by. His name is Ralph Isaacs. I stopped there because Ralph has the same initials as where the doctor came from, Rhode Island. So we were getting RI all the time on the Red Spirit boxes that Bree and Joni are using. So I bought the Ouija board device to make sure we were actually getting the specific letters. I will tell you, we've had that thing for about 5 or 6 months, and the same amount of time, we've had the letters RI show up as I'm telling this part of the history. But anyway, back to Ralph. He tells the doctor, dude, you don't want to stay here. I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me to 59 Church Street. You can stay there with some friends of mine, and they'll rent you a room. You'll be safe. The doctor took him up on the offer. They became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. Proving this point that it wasn't after Amanda's money. So Amanda gets wind of this, and she's going to move down so they can get married. Now, the doctor is pretty happy. It's the 1780s where men whistled all the time. Dr. Ladd became known as the whistling doctor. Here's what I'm going to tell you about our whistling ghost here in Charleston. Every haunted city you are ever going to visit in the future has a cliched whistling ghost. Ours is a doctor. Just going to point that out. But anyway, Ralph and Dr. Ladd go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. So that's the hierarchy of Charleston. He just gets better seats. They're arguing over an actress one night on the way home, seeing Richard III, Shakespeare. Dr. Ladd thought the actress was fantastic. Ralph didn't. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiance, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. It's very ugly with an argument, and they go their separate ways. You've already figured out that Ralph has friends here in Charleston. He goes to his friends at the newspaper and puts an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of thing. So the doctor saw the ad, but rebuttal it, let's go to Bueller's Alley, and we're going to settle this once and for all. Somebody's going to die, and remember that this whole argument started over an actress. They came down, they took their 10 paces, they turned, the doctor pointed his gun in the air, and he shot his one shot. He did not want to kill his friend. He just wanted to have the courage and bravery to show up to the fight, which is often what happens in a duel. Ralph puts one shot in the kneecap of the doctor. The doctor doesn't die, he falls to the ground. His friends picked him up and carried him home to 59 trips. He dies 10 days later, November 2nd of 1786. During those 10 days, he refused medical treatment. It's 1786. Gunshot wounds are a lot different than what we think of a gunshot wound today. So he probably tried to bleed out this bullet wound himself. Every ghost story that comes down here will tell you to listen to the whistles while you're down here. It's always very quiet. Even on a busy Saturday afternoon, it's usually just like this unless there's an air conditioner running somewhere. What I will tell you is that if you're going to try this on your own and actually walk all the way through here, turn on your voice recorders from your phone and see if you can get anything by listening to it later. But keep in mind, every local knows this golden. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland Street or Queen Street throws a whistle down the alley. I do it every night. I point it out. And especially since I got thrown out of here. I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but if you're going to listen for whistles, keep in mind I'm holding a voice recorder on the bag so you can listen to it during this part of the story to see if there's a whistle and not a cicada in the background, plus the 2 video cameras that are recording right now that are hopefully going to find a whistle in the background. Here's how I got booted out. Here's why I cannot take you all the way down to the end. It's a very interesting tale, by the way. This alley didn't always go all the way through the way we came in. There was a wall up there, simply because the original Charlestown walls is where the Cumberland streets that we were just walking on, that's where it existed. So this alley was cut off. The reason why is because this is where they kept all of the livestock in the city of Charleston. They used to be called cow alley. So that means the bricks on the other side, down by Queen Street, are older than the bricks we're standing on now. Those are sun-dried bricks from slave children. The full handprint from the slave trowel at the end of the alley, and some fingerprint swipes and other bricks off to the left. I used to take my groups all the way through here when I first started doing this. But I treat that brick the exact same way I do a grave. That's the last place you're going to find that kid. He's not staring at the brick that he overturned and left his imprint on. I'm trying to shoot my group along on November 26th of 2020 because I know nothing's going to happen. They're all waiting. They're huddled around that brick. Also because it's outside the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I was just trying to be respectful to the house down there, not knowing I was out of bounds for tours. So, the new owner of the mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because Dad's getting yelled at. She was on the floor that night. We moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't work on Thanksgiving primarily because I worked for Walmart for a good part of my 20-year retail management career in upper management for Walmart. So you can all understand why I'll never work Thanksgiving again. So the next day was November 28th. The dates are relevant. I'm getting to it. I called my partner that I had at the time, learning about tourism because I was new at this, and I told him what happened 2 nights prior. And he said, dude, you can't go down that far. He said, you're only allowed to go down halfway, or you got to reroute the group. What I told my group that night was, we're going to have to reroute, but I don't believe in the next story because I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. Obviously, we're talking about pirates next, in case you can pick up on that. So, one person with a spirit box heard the name Anne before we left the space, where we're standing right now. I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating. The famous female pirate Anne Bonny. So I went, okay, maybe we will have something going on. We get over there, I told them what little bit I did know about piracy. Another person with a spirit box, here's the number 300. I don't know what that means in real time. I write it down. Research the next day. We were there on November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720.
Oh,
we were there on the exact 300th anniversary of the pirate trial. You guys are all like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I went, my shoulders shrumped and went, damn it. The reason why is that I have a master's degree in creative writing. My problem with pirates, pirate stories are created from pirate lore. You know how many books I have to read to be able to validate what we're about to go investigate? It's a lot. So again, it was a lot of research to get us to the point of what we're about to discuss at the next location. Another tourist probably trying to come down here. And normally, by the way, 4th of July week, this place is flooded. We are like going elbow to elbow down here with tourists. Again, I try to be brief in here. But kind of keep that in mind with the whole pirate piece. Hopefully when we're over there, we're going to be able to spread out and we'll get Dixie's spirit box up and running again, that we're going to get things from this location as well as the pirate story over there. I will tell you about the gate before we leave. The gate behind me, by the way, you are like in perfect mode. I love it. Nice clear shot. The gate behind me, if you remember that the alley didn't go all the way through, like I mentioned for Cow Alley, in the event there was a loser to a duel, this was the shortcut to get over to the cemetery on the other side of the wall. So the loser would obviously be dead. So instead, they would have to walk all the way down to Queen Street and double back around. So they created this gate behind me. And the gate wasn't originally there, but you can definitely tell that the archway was part of the original wall. I like to call this the death gate because, again, lots of dead bodies would have come through here to cut over the courtyard to get over to the cemetery by St. Shores. So, are you guys ready to learn about some rated R pirates? Nobody got my punny joke? Really?
Arg.
Arr, thanks. Alright, somebody got it. Alright, let's get it. You were getting
I heard
it.
some music.
What was the music?
It was just random stuff, nothing in particular.
Okay. So Bree, anything on yours?
I mean, I just got a really loud in Christ as I was walking in.
Oh,
But, I mean,
look over that
like,
way. Tallest
you know,
steeple in
yeah.
Charleston. And notice you guys didn't hear any religious terms until we came over here. That's on a nightly basis.
I got 2 things about church before you just told your last story.
Okay.
I got made in his image before he told me.
So a lot of those religious terms as we get closer
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
St. Philip's. How's our word list coming, Christine?
Since we left, we've got deadline, change, Hayden, toll, live, literary, and a go.
Literary showed up at inside the alley.
On our way over.
So, I'm excited about that because it's part of something else. Dr. Ladd, that we just talked about, actually used to write poetry when he was here. He used to write about his fiancée Amanda and about the city of Charleston. After he died, his sister, Elizabeth, published all of his poetry and called it The Literary Remains of Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. So we have one part of the title. We'll see if something else pops up with it, say part of his name. Like at that point, I'll be convinced. But the word literary is obviously very specific to that particular book. So I've read pieces of it. I don't actually have a copy. I've read some online work. It's okay. It's not to the standard of what I would actually consider.
I just got the glory of God.
Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of those. Expect those. How's your letters coming? No RI over there at all? Alright, so over here, we're looking for AB or MR. So, let's get into this craziness. Dixie, I need you guys to get more out of that thing. Work harder.
Over here, the word is female.
Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised by that either. That's going to make a lot more sense to you guys here in just a moment. We get a lot of, well, we're going to be discussing a female pirate, but a lot of female gender terms come up about her specifically because of how her pirate career went. And that'll make more sense once we get going. But we're all here to discuss the same building as every other tour, but we're looking at it a lot differently. The little tiny building up there with the crosses on it, those are not crosses, those are earthquake bolts. None of you are from here, so you don't know what earthquake bolts are, I'm guessing. They're basically turnbuckles, so it goes all the way through the roof. If you have another earthquake, like what I mentioned at the top of our night, you can turn them on opposite sides, and it'll tighten the building so it doesn't incur any further damage. It's a great idea, it just doesn't work. You guys have seen them all over town. Even the apartment building behind you actually has earthquake bolts in every floor. They just look different because the ones at the powder magazine, those are the very first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in, which is exactly why we're here. That building is the first set because that is the oldest government building we have in South Carolina. It was finished in 1713. That building was being constructed at the same time that Anne Bonny was coming here to start her life. So, this is what I call it familiar. For those of you that watch the TV shows, you've seen that little Boo Buddy teddy bear guy that they use. So, that's because the child would be familiar with a toilet. Same principle. We don't have many buildings this old here in Charleston. So, the hope here is that Anne's going to be here at the same time we are. So, let's kind of get into it. The building was finished in 1713, but it took 10 years to build. Does that sound like our government? Small building, 10 years? No, not at all. I'll answer for you. But our history begins. Does anybody have their phone maybe? Kind of check on our weather real quick while I kind of go through this. But make sure whenever we get a strong breeze like that out of nowhere, it usually means we got some dominant tracks. So,
Mine just says thunderstorms expected around 11 out of the radar.
well, let's take a quick pause. Yeah, you're not getting much of a signal there. 11 o'clock. back in the middle of this construction is when everything started. So kind of follow me. There's a lot of twists here. So 1708, a young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormac. So she comes here with her dad and his mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. Is everybody with me so far?
But Anne Cormac, is that the same as Anne Bonny?
You jumped the cart before the horse there, Joni. That's the third time you've done that tonight.
Just trying to keep track of the story.
Yep, that's why I slowed down. Yep.
Okay.
So, the three of them are running away from her father's angry wife. How mad was she that they had to come here by boat in 1708? So, normally when there's gentlemen here with their ladies, I tell them, please be kind to your wives. Don't kick your ass out of the country. But anyway, they land in Georgetown. That's between us and Myrtle Beach. So, Dad bought a plantation. Mom dies pretty quickly. So, that means he's sending young Anne down here to sell anything from the plantation to help keep things afloat. By the way, take a step backwards to Ireland for just a second. Anne Cormac was a badass even when she was a child. They say at the age of 7, 8, or 9 years old. I have no idea what the hell's going on over there. It's not even Friday night yet. But at the age of 7, 8, or 9, because remember it's pirate lore, nothing's going to be exact, they say she killed a servant with a knife to the belly. We have had the term servant, knife, and belly show up on 3 different devices where the other 2 people don't know what's going on. So again, take that for what it's worth. So, we're going to fast forward. The building's done in 1713. By 1715, pirates are starting to come through Charlestown. Anne is pretty stoked. Let me tell you why. She's going to earn her freedom and fall in love. It's just like a man. It's a man's world at this point. So, first guy she falls in love with. I said first guy because there's a handful, and that's what makes the story interesting. We're going to discuss them all. Sorry, Bree. A little dry on the board over there. So, let's liven this up. First guy is James Bonny. You already see where this one's going, right? Because we've already mentioned her pirate name. They ran away to Jamaica because her father didn't approve. They got married. But when they got down there, she realized James Bonny is not Captain Jack Sparrow like what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer, which means he's a spy and a coward for the British. So this is not who she wants. A few years go by, she falls in love again. We're on guy number 2. This is what his name is John Rackham, but everybody calls him Calico Jack. Jack is the guy that they based your Johnny Depp character off of, in case you were wondering who the hell this guy actually is. He has his own ship, has his own crew, and wants to be part of the crew. But you can't put a girl on a pirate crew because it's bad luck. So he makes a deal with her. If you dress like a guy and look like the crew, you can be part of the crew, but you're going to be a female in my quarters. She's okay with this. Why? Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland. She hired her from his wife. She gets it. It's a man's world. Most of us are adults here. Let's put 2 and 2 together. She's going to be a female in his quarters.
I have a question. Is that just my shadow?
It is.
Alright.
Lack of light. Depth perception. So, she's eventually going to get pregnant, by the way, by being a female in his quarters. You can't have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a girl and that Jack let her on the ship. So he drops her off in Cuba. They'll have the baby over here, come back later, we'll figure it out. She goes and has that baby, but returns without a child. We have no idea what happened. None of my research has ever found. But she also comes back dressed as a female. This makes Jack pretty pissed off. Because now he's going to know he let a girl on the ship. While she was gone giving birth to his baby, he captured another pirate crew. They're down below deck. She's going to go flirting because that's who Anne is. She wants to make him even more mad. We're on guy number 3 in case you lost track. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy to be part of the crew that Calico Jack captured. So now we have 2 females dressed like males on the same ship, trying to be pirates. Her name is Mary Reed, M.R. So Mary went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. Her and Mary became friends, possibly lovers. We're not going to really know, but the British found out where they are. They sent a fleet of ships to take down one pirate ship. Rumor is that Anne and Mary were the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with 1 bullet flintlocks because they didn't know how to use cannon jets. They haven't been pirates for very long. Obviously, that's not going to work out. 2 ladies against a whole fleet of ships, they're going to get arrested. As they're being arrested, she looks at her beau and captain, Calico Jack, and she says, Jack, I'm so sorry to see you here, but if you would have fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog. The word dog shows up on your spirit boxes a lot. The judge wants to see the 2 men, quote unquote, that fought back so valiantly on their own. He's already tried to hung Calico Jack and the drunken pirates that wouldn't fight. The 2 ladies go in front to reveal their gender. He does not give a shit that they are female. They're still pirates. He's still going to hang them. We plead our bellies was the last thing they shouted because they're claiming to be pregnant. And you cannot hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. Sends them both back to jail, delays the hanging. Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He brings her back home. She remarries. And husband number 2 with guy number 4, because we're going to count Mary Reed. We don't really know. She has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84 in the 1700s. Yes, very abrupt ending because we don't know much about her after her pirate career. Mary Reed dies 5 months later from whatever pirates start from in Jamaican jail. Most books will tell you it was something simple like fever. I say bullshit, let's make it romantic and call it scurvy. Why the hell not? We're talking pirates. So here's the things I left out of your piece of history piece, so that way you have something to work with. Everything else is fair game. This is not a prominent English woman that we are working with Eliza Lucas Pinckney. Also remember, you may get things from the doctor story, which, like the word literary, that I'm super excited about. This is me excited, by the way, about a word coming up. I left out the name of Calico Jack's ship. So that is one thing you can ask about. I left out the name of Anne Bonny's parents on purpose, so you had something to work with. The city where Anne Bonny grew up in Ireland will come up from time to time, and the color of her hair if you ask her directly. So that one is red. That's an easy one. So that's just obviously an Irish woman. It's more than likely going to be red, right? So we are going to spread out in this location, staying away from the groups that are going to be passing by. And what do we got? 2 vehicles in here? Oh, we are really looking out with just 2 vehicles in these spaces. If you wanted to get close to the powder magazine, there is like a little bench along that brick wall. So if you wanted to sit down and work with your spirit box, that's fine too. So again, this is your guys' night. Get those video cameras up and running, and let's get those spirit boxes cranked up. Let's see what we can get.
All around?
I will tell you with yours, Frank, that your particular device, the closer you get to the corners, we have electrical poles over there. You're going to get a little bit of a feedback from it. It's normally against this back, but yeah, you can spread out against this one, wherever you want to go. 2.5, but again, I don't usually expect a whole lot out of this location. If you get a 2.5 or higher, I'm pretty excited. This is not the typical mansion. How's it worth it?
It's when you're about here.
Too hot? What?
I like the roller
Your knee?
Yeah, and they just feel sore. I mean, think about I never exercise or hardly walk, and all day, you know, I go on a walk and then I'm jumping in the water here and there, and now I've been standing for 2 hours. It's just a lot.
Faith, look at this.
There's a tree right there. See the branches?
Yeah, it's the shape of a person. Maybe it's a tree though.
Again.
I don't even know how Sync is doing.
Ask Bree.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, see, that's actually probably all three of those things, but two for sure. I'm going to actually check on it while I'm doing my round robins. Are relevant to a whole other story that I didn't even tell you.
Oh, cool.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
It's a matter of
I'd say yes and yes.
story. I don't always tell it because it can be a little on the darker side. So you'll see once I tell it. I'm going to have to tell it now because you're giving me those pieces.
Okay,
But I'm going to
cool.
look to see what
Okay.
how legitimate that Wednesday piece is.
All right.
Like I'm going to look up this person's date of death and see if it fell on a Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Is your arm tired?
Yes.
But also over there, all of these sounds.
We normally get like ferocious male. We don't get like all this female gender
All of
terms.
this, all of the female.
And that's why when the term female shows up on Christine's device, it's kind of like, to me it makes sense. You guys don't know until you start to see more.
All of them are female. Which generally come out as
Yeah. And normally with the radio chatter, I don't really care if it's, I'm only looking at the message itself.
Yeah.
So it could be like, and then she was a criminal. And if it was a guy speaking, I'm going to look at more of the she was a criminal more than it was the radio DJ that was a man.
Yeah.
So that's it. So radio chatter, I don't care if it's male or female. It's those disembodied voices that I used to care about because then I need to figure out like who it is. Is it so-and-so? Is it so-and-so? So, anything else on yours?
So I got Nancy, leave, sober, nightmare, and gut.
It's all vague, but it's actually tying in with what Joni's finding, which has nothing to do with our pirate story at all. And I'm going to have to tell that story before we leave because she has two very prominent things that are.
Wasn't she accused of stabbing somebody in the belly?
She was.
The gut. Belly.
We have a baby story that's nearby that I don't always know.
Is it about a baby boy?
I don't know where it is.
Because boy was the next thing.
The baby was still. So I don't know if we use a gender. bringing him is stirring up these baby stories that I don't always like to tell. So I hate to say it like that.
Yeah. That could. Yeah.
That's so nice. Minus reading.
Easy does it.
It's gonna be hard when I go home because then I'm only home for like a few days. In my
2 days.
Yeah. 2 full days, yeah. In my own day.
I don't think so. I did pick up some over there, but I think it might be just the porta potty.
I'll definitely take a look at it. Yeah, anything with branches and leaves, I can
Yeah.
take a look at. Obviously, you have them too, in
Yeah.
there, so that's good. Any letters that I need to know about? I want you to keep an eye on. You do have SH. So. Let me know if SHH shows up consecutively. I'm gonna do one more round robin, but I'm gonna mark down that you have at least one SH. Like there's only one H there. It's somebody's initials of things that are coming up with something else.
Okay.
Interesting. What's today's date? 26th? 25th?
26th.
Yeah.
Buns. Getting some paranormal activity.
You are?
We are.
Oh. Am I?
Yeah. I can
I
tell.
said to Christy, I said, my mom's gonna be obsessed with ghosts now. Meanwhile, I'm tired of watching.
I can get out.
Wow, I got some beautiful pictures of that church. No, for real. Isn't that crazy?
What? Did you get something on the wall?
Alright, so we don't have anything pirate like at all going on here tonight. So let me tell you what's going on. The first thing you need to know, I'm only going to keep you guys under for 10 minutes. And when I say under, it's only when we're going to tap you out. You're going to each get a tap on the leg. You'll be able to hear us, so it'll be Caleb. Go ahead and take off your headset. But you're going to get a tap on the leg, and it usually means we're just done.
Okay.
More than 10 minutes, this can get very disorienting. So I'm also going to keep an eye on your breathing to make sure you're breathing okay.
Okay.
In the event, yeah, I know, this can be a little heavy. I've had to tap people out before because they almost said their heart was going. Yeah, told you. Things can happen. So you can see how this is a flat piece. This is not going to go all the way around your head. Obviously, it goes, there's your ear holes.
Oh, okay.
So you don't need to put it on just yet. But
Alrighty.
so 10 minutes. If you're talking too loud, Joni, that mainly means you. Faith, you're going to pretty much be behind her. So if she's talking too loud, you're going to tap her shoulder. So that means tone it down a little bit.
Okay.
Again, those are neighbors behind us. We don't need to be shouting. You get my point. So we're all going to be relatively close. Like I'm going to huddle us in even closer, just so you know. We're going to be filming the whole thing. Everybody else is going to be listening in on their spirit boxes. Trying to think what else. Oh, you can also answer in yes/no questions. So if you hear a yes/no, you don't know what I'm asking. So again, it's okay to answer if you hear a yes/no answer, just because it.
Wait, if I just hear a yes or a no?
You're going to tell us literally everything you hear in real time. So
Okay.
when you go under, remember you have to talk. You have to tell us everything in real time, because I'm going to be asking you questions as if you were the ghost we're trying to hunt down, and I'm expecting answers.
And I'm hearing it from here, though?
Yes.
Okay.
You're going to tell us everything you're hearing out of it.
Okay.
So the whole point of this is I don't want you to hear what I'm asking. That's the whole point. And you don't know anything about who we're going to be going after. So so for you, is your spirit box at a comfortable ear level, by the way, as far as volume? Oh, by the way, I need to stop yours real quick. So we have a separate recording for it. We're going to get a separate recording from yours.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have the recording.
But there is an SD card. So just get yourself to a nice, comfortable.
Yeah, I had it
level.
turned all the way up.
Oh yeah, you might want to turn it down a little bit.
Yeah?
Because you're going to put the noise canceling headphones over
Oh,
top
alright,
of it.
let's see.
So just test the level right now, because you're going to put your blindfold on first.
Yeah, that's a comfortable level.
Okay. Good. So take those out. Perfect. So go ahead and blindfold up first.
Okay. Well, I think I need help putting those things in then, if I'm blindfolded.
You'll be alright. Most people are. Those. Still getting used to this app. Sorry, Caleb.
No, you're fine.
Have you ever used a VR headset before?
I have before, yeah.
You get dirty messages from my wife, you let me know. Go ahead and put those earbuds in, and then you're literally going to go ahead and get started. So we are at, what time is it? 11:12. So I'm just setting this up for you. So we're on the right thing here. Perfect. So when you put this guy on, you're going to see smoke, and then hopefully some images are going to start to come through.
Okay.
Your adjustment for the eyes is right here, and then there's two pieces in here for forward and backwards.
Okay.
And all you got to do is describe the pictures that you are seeing. Guys, let's huddle in nice and tight. Noise canceling headphones. So, Faith, where you at?
Here.
Yeah, I'll take your device. Put those over Mom's ear.
Oh, do you want me to turn the volume down while you're talking?
Yep.
Do I start the images
I
now?
want you to
Oh,
go ahead and find a comfortable thing. Now, yeah, if you got images, start explaining them. Or however she's comfortable.
whoops.
There's a man
Yeah,
just
just put him on
standing
the-
in the streets with trees around him.
It is. You got a small head.
You can crush my hair, it's okay.
Oh.
And you just push them back. There you go. Perfect. So, once you get that volume set up, leave it alone.
Is that over?
She'll fix it. Once you get them started, they can usually do it themselves. So right now it is 11:13. So we had a man standing there, Caleb. What is
Yeah,
it?
in like a city street with buildings everywhere and just trees. Like
Okay.
a few trees.
Interesting. We are looking for Henry Timrod to come through.
He was also wearing a black outfit, like all black.
That's very interesting too. Did he happen to have a mustache?
His face was blacked out.
Okay. So Joni, can you hear me? She needs to stop playing with the volume. I want to make sure she's not cheating. Okay, Henry Timrod. This young lady here with the blonde hair can hear you.
Pop, pop.
If you can come through and tell us what your occupation is, please.
Beat.
Tap her on the shoulder for me. Be nicer than that. Henry Timrod, come through and tell us your occupation, please. You guys also notice that I'm not taking notes to make sure that I'm keeping an eye on them for their breathing. If this turns out to be successful, I'll watch the video later.
Inability.
Henry, do you want to start talking about your family right away? Because you know we don't have much time to do this. Henry,
Credit cards.
Henry, come push through. Tell us what your occupation is, or if you want to start talking about a family member. You know how these boxes work. We've done this enough times now. Henry Timrod. Do you want to tell us about your wife? That's a yes/no question.
Remember.
Okay. Do you want to talk about your wife?
Aggressive.
No, that's not relevant. Henry Timrod, really need you to give us the messages you can.
Best oral surgeon.
Told you it was going to be silly, guys. We get some weird stuff out of this. Henry, what sound do we get out of the church across the street? Can you tell us about that sound?
Anybody looks.
Oh, a lot of letters coming through. Anything spelling out? I'm going to scale it back just a hair. That's good. So you're not getting so much interference.
60. 20.
Wow, that's interesting. Henry, you want to talk about numbers? We can ask you how old you were when you passed away. He was 38, by the way. That way you guys know what number we're looking for. Caleb, anything coming through?
Nope. It was like choir music.
Henry, I'm asking a lot of questions tonight. I don't normally do that this quickly, but push through. I've asked you about your occupation, your wife, what sound we get out of the church, and the age at the time of your death. That's a lot.
Your latest treatments.
Can you tell us the last word you ever
6.
wrote? What's the last
20.
What's the last word you ever wrote?
CO.
Henry, let's change gears a little bit.
Apply.
Can you tell us whose cottage you stayed at the night that you died? What was his name? Caleb's staring at smoke, everybody, just so you know. That's the backdrop I put on there, is it's just smoke coming at him, so it didn't have just a fall asleep of black. Henry, we're asking a lot of questions. Feel free to answer any one of them.
Grateful.
About 4.5 minutes, just so everybody kind of has that gist of how quick this goes. Henry Timrod, I need you to push through. There's a lot going on
Food.
here. We're the only people here, which I know you like it quiet.
30.
Are you trying to tell us about your age when you died? 30 what?
I got space followed by please.
He doesn't like the crowds. On a night where there's like 3 or 4 tours in here, we get nothing out of this.
Do it.
Are you asking us to leave?
Advocate. Generation.
Henry Timrod, would you like us to leave?
Beatable. The song Love Me, Love Me.
Just playing a pop quiz, everybody, just so you know. Caleb, nothing?
Nothing.
Henry, I got this new little box that we're using. It's green. You can put images on there. That's Caleb. He can see what you put in there. Show us what you want us to see.
Mill.
What was it?
Mill. M-I-L-L.
Value. Assistance.
Henry Timrod, I've asked a lot of questions. Can you answer any of them? You came close to your age of death, but you didn't give us the second number.
In the night.
Would you like us to leave?
Clock strikes. customers.
Henry Timrod, can you tell us anything about your son? His birthday, his name. We're not looking for parlor tricks. We are looking for you to verify that you are healed. These folks are trying to learn about you, as am I. Can't get everything out of a book, Henry.
Don't. Summer.
Caleb, anything at all? Nope.
No. No.
Wait, there's something coming. I do not know what that is at all.
Okay, just describe it. Give us colors, figures.
It's like a golden wall with bricks, but everything's moving, and there's a figure in the bottom right corner. It looks like it, I don't know, it could be Egypt. It looks,
I want to dance with somebody.
there's like someone with a rope in the bottom, like covering them completely.
Imitation.
It looks like they're almost floating.
Be a priest.
Possibly. I don't know. It's like covering their head too, and there's a person in the bottom right looking at them.
Gabriella.
And the wall just keeps shifting.
It's going to continue to move and like alter a little bit because
Yeah.
when AI generates it, it has to continue to listen to its environment. Henry, we're running out of time. Notice she was quiet the
It's
entire
gone
time he
now.
was describing things. Did you guys notice that? Like she only said one or two little things.
Hey,
It was really bright.
Welcome back, Henry. I think we
Zero.
I think we should call this a good night. Can you say good night to us?
Surgeon.
Oh. Dr. Ladd, are you here? Give us a yes or no answer, please. If you're here, we're going to fulfill.
No.
Okay. That would not be Dr. Ladd. Is Henry Timrod here? Give us a yes no answer.
I believe.
Believe what? That we should end this? 'Cause you're not giving us anything tonight.
Music.
I think it's fair to say we should tap her out, right? Okay. One of you tap her on her
Diamonds.
leg, please. Oh, she didn't jump like everybody else. Caleb, feel free to take that headset.